All right, so there is a book called The Context of Holiness. And I read this recently with Father Boniface, but I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to let you comment on it. The nature of healing. Freud once said that therapy ends when we are dealing with our problems and they are no longer dealing with us. 35 years ago, when I was a gung-ho undergraduate psychology major, Freud's viewpoint sounded pessimistic and depressing. Now, as a man in his 60s who is still struggling with the same fears and neurotic tendencies that I wrestled with in my youth, I see Freud's perspective as being realistic. For are not our deeply rooted, deeply embedded, and deeply entrenched personality traits chronic, obdurate, and unyielding by definition? Even though I believe that by the grace of God, I am not the man I was 35 years ago, for I can honestly say that much emotional healing has taken place in my heart. Nevertheless, during times of stress, when my old fears and neurotic compulsions well up within me in all their savage intensity, I feel that nothing has changed. I say to myself, and here's the kicker, I say to myself, when will I ever be rid of this fear? Once I could accept the answer, never, I felt a great weight taken off my shoulders. For I was released from the impossible goal of trying to become someone other than myself. Working on yourself can be an insidious mask of self-hate, for it makes you feel that there is something wrong with you until you are healed. I have often told people who come to me for spiritual direction to never make it a goal to conquer their faults. Simply ask for the grace to resist the temptation of the moment. Take it for granted that you will always have tendencies towards certain sins and self-destructive behaviors, which will always be opportunities to grow in virtue and rely on the grace of God. Now, here's what made me think of this. Coming from Therese of Lisieux, you see, here you are, you're a nun, you're in front of icons, and I can't pray. What's the deal? This idea of not needing to grow up. So Therese saying, I had no need to grow up. Therese did not make it a goal to get beyond the effects of her childhood, but to do the will of God in the midst of them. Therese understood that the emotional wounds of her childhood were not obstacles to spiritual growth, but the context of growing in holiness. Therese can help us refocus our goal in life. She tells us to keep our minds on doing the will of God. If our emotions are transformed in the process, all well and good, praise God. But if they are not changed, they are the context in which we will grow in God's love.
That's
wonderful.
wonderful.
Isn't that
wow.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
Yes, it's all of the things. So many things came to my mind. So just the Holy Spirit to remind me, I'm being bombarded in a different way.
Yeah.
So good.
But to release yourself even from the pressure to say it perfectly, to have it come to you. Just because I think that's the other thing, real quick, but so that you can forget everything you're currently thinking. And is we even that, right? When you're like, just you need to pray and you need to renounce and you need to. Sometimes when you get told all those things, you're like, oh great, so it's on me again. Like I'm the problem. But just this surrender and sitting is the solution.
Yeah, I'm poor and needy, yet the Lord thinks of me. He doesn't think of me because I came out of being poor and needy. He thinks of me because I'm poor and needy. And so I need him. I need him literally for everything, because without me, you can do nothing. Like he says that, John 15, without him, we can do nothing. That's not very much. I mean, yeah, we just come to him in our poverty and sin and brokenness, and that's who he delights in, and that's who he loves. And a lot of what's in the book is about spiritual childhood and just being this child in whom he delights. But what happens when kids try to fix things?
Yeah.
It's usually worse than before they started. That really hit me. Like, oh.
A lot of energy is spent and then things are worse.
Yeah, that's such a huge temptation. The image that I get is the like this train. Like we keep thinking we're missing the train to holiness. We just keep missing it. Like I'm standing on this platform and shoop, it went by and I missed it. There went that other person. There went that other saint. They caught the train. I'm the loser who didn't, because I'm still doing the same things I did 30 years ago. And then the Lord literally like had to show me this. You're not missing the train, honey. You're on the train. I'm the conductor, and it's going at just the right pace because I'm the conductor. And so I don't need to compare myself to myself or compare myself to somebody else. I need to trust that I'm on this train, God's leading it, and he'll take me when I'm ready, as I am, whatever that means. And St. Paul had a thorn in the flesh. Who knows what that was, but God didn't take care of that and get rid of it. He went to heaven with this thorn in this flesh. So, we have to really be on guard against this temptation to fix ourselves and really just stand naked before the Father in our brokenness and let him do it. Like Mary says, be it done unto me. Carol Hauslander points out, like, it's not what she did, it's what God did in her. I think that was her. Was it Fulton Sheen? Or maybe both of them. I don't remember. But like, be it done unto me. Like, let God do it.
This is what I want to tell you about a course that I have created for men to overcome pornography. It is called strive21.com/Matt. You go there right now, or if you text STRIVE to 66866, we'll send you the link. It's 100% free, and it's a course I've created to help men, to give them the tools to overcome pornography. Usually men know that porn is wrong. They don't need me or you to convince them that it's wrong. What they need is a battle plan to get out. And so I've distilled all that I've learned over the last 15 or so years as I've been talking and writing on this topic into this one course. Think of it as if you and I could have a coffee over the next 21 days and I would kind of guide you along this journey. That's basically what this is. It's incredibly well produced. We had a whole camera crew come and film this. And I think it'll be a real help to you. And it's also not an isolated course that you go through on your own, because literally tens of thousands of men have now gone through this course. And as you go through the different videos, there's comments from men all around the world encouraging each other, offering to be each other's accountability partners and things like that. Strive21, that's strive21.com/Matt, or as I say, text STRIVE to 66866 to get started today. You won't regret it. This is what's tough, right? Because I would rather God say to me, okay, so you want to be holy? Here's what you have to do, right? All right, cool. Give me the game plan.
Yeah.
Bible in a Year podcast. Cool. Check, pray, whatever. Do these certain things, but it's all stuff I'm doing. That's what I assume God's saying, which is the opposite of be it done unto me, because it's the things that are being done unto me that I don't really respond well to. So I sometimes fear that if God said, I want you to read the entire Bible every week for the rest of your life, I could do that if I meant going to heaven. But if I'm afraid that if God said, don't cause your family any unnecessary grief, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm screwed. Like, I don't know how to, I don't know how to do that.
Well, it's because we, what do children bring? Like a newborn. They bring literally nothing but their need.
Yeah.
And Jesus thanks the Father for revealing, like hiding this from wise and understanding and revealing them to infants. Like if we're really his infants, then all we're bringing is our need, which means we're going to mess up. Because I was realizing as the Lord is like disciplining me and saying like, wow, you're really prideful. Let me start teaching you about humility. Great. It's only the beginning. You're going to mess this up a lot because guess what? You're an infant. So learning to walk is kind of hard. But also, like, he didn't come at me with a rod because infants don't need rods. Infants just need very gentle redirection, like away from the electric socket. Okay, no, that's not for you. Like, so... But if I'm really his infant, then I'm really just bringing my need, and I'm kind of dangerous because I'm going to go for the electric socket. But,
continually.
So he kind of has to do it all. He has to parent me. Like we decide that we need to figure this out and be the parent and discipline ourselves, and he's the parent and we're the kid, and he's going to do it all in us, whatever needs to be done. And for all that messy stuff, like, do we really think the apostles were in a hot mess? Like, they were. They messed up all the time. They didn't get anything Jesus was telling them. It cracks me up, but he's like, do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, we do. No, you don't. You're barely scratching the surface. It's kind of funny. But, like, we think we get it. We think we're really smart, but compared to God's wisdom, not really.
Yeah.
It's better if we come to him in our brokenness and our need and let him love us in that. Like that kid who's just head to toe covered in dirt and slime and who knows what they've been eating. And just love them. Yeah. Because, I mean, you still love that kid who's covered in dirt and slime. How can the Father not love who he's made? I mean, he wouldn't have made you if he didn't love you. But the devil basically spends our entire life, like, he's on a make or break mission to make us think we're not lovable and doubt the Father's love. That's his main mission. That's sort of the first mission. It's somewhere in the catechism. It's like, that's the first thing he starts with. Because if he's got that, he's got all the rest. Because honestly, I'm not going to learn to be humble until I believe that the Father loves me. Because how am I supposed to actually take a humiliation well if I don't know that I'm lovable and loved?
It'll just be a threat.
Yeah,
in a real sense.
Like, it'd be so, like, just immediately all the defenses would go up. But when I know that I'm lovable and someone says that really hurtful thing, I can go to the Father and say, "Oh, that hurt. What do you say about me?"
Yeah.
And then we have an encounter with God.
I remember once I was talking with a dear spiritual director, and we were praying and getting into some of this stuff. What does the Father think of you? You know, and I think one of my defenses that went up, which I'm sure I'm not alone in, is, well, I just want this to be true. Like, these are things I want to say to myself. And he's like, look at how you talk to yourself on a regular basis. I don't think you do want to talk to yourself this way. Like, this actually isn't the easier way to, at least initially, to believe that we're loved and to accept ourselves as needy before him.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually, so many of us are so used to self-condemnation and
It's
that's
like just
what we
our
want to
default.
hear.
It's like the factory default setting.
Yeah.
But that's also a lie, because that's not how we were made. We were made to walk with God and talk with him in the cool of the day. And it's really the fall, which was pride, which said, well, he's not going to take care of me. He doesn't love me enough to take care of me. I can do it myself. And so we grab. It's really the heart of the matter.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.